Let me ask you something. What's the most important conversation you'll ever have? Is it with your spouse, your boss, your closest friend? Nope. The most important conversation you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself every single day in your head. Here's the kicker. Most of us don't even realize how powerful that inner voice is. It can either push us forward toward greatness or hold us back in fear and self-doubt. Think about it though. Often do you find yourself thinking, I'm not good enough, or I always mess things up? If you talk to yourself like that long enough, guess what happens? You start believing it. But here's the good news. You have the power to rewrite the script. You can train that voice in your head to become your greatest coach instead of your worst critic. That's what today is all about, unlocking the power of positive self-talk. Because when you change the way you talk to yourself, you change your entire life. Ready? Let's go. Words have energy. They can inspire, uplift, and heal, or they can destroy, demotivate, and break us down. And the words you say to yourself are even more powerful because they become the filter through which you see the world. Let me tell you about a client I worked with named Amanda. Amanda was brilliant, but she constantly told herself, I'm just not good enough. Every time she faced a challenge, that negative self-talk kicked in and she'd back away. The moment she shifted her language to, I can figure this out, everything changed. She started taking on challenges with confidence, and guess what? She succeeded more often because she believed she could. Action step, identify one negative phrase you frequently tell yourself. Replace it with a positive one. Every time that old phrase creeps in, consciously switch to the new one. This isn't just motivational fluff, there's real science behind the power of self-talk. Studies in neuroscience show that positive self-talk activates the brain's reward centers, increasing motivation and improving performance. It also reduces stress by rewiring the way your brain responds to challenges. Athletes use this all the time. When a runner hits a wall during a marathon, what keeps them going? It's not just physical strength, it's the voice in their head saying, one more step, you've got this. That's the power of positive self-talk in action. Action step. The next time you're facing a tough situation, practice what I call the power phrase method. Create a short, empowering phrase like, I've got this, or I am stronger than this challenge, and repeat it to yourself. Negative self-talk doesn't start overnight. It's usually the result of years of conditioning. Maybe someone told you as a kid, you'll never be good at this, and it's stuck. Or maybe you've had a few failures, and now that inner voice has convinced you that failure is your destiny. But here's the thing. You are not your past. Just because you failed before doesn't mean you'll fail again. And just because someone else doubted you doesn't mean you should doubt yourself. Remember this. Your thoughts are not facts. They're just thoughts. You can choose to believe them or challenge them. Action step. Write down one negative belief you've been carrying. Next to it, write a positive belief that contradicts it. Start training your mind to question the negative and focus on the positive. Your brain is always listening to what you say after the words, I am. If you constantly say, I am not good enough, your brain will find ways to prove you right. But if you start saying, I am capable, I am resilient, or I am unstoppable, you'll start to feel and act in alignment with those beliefs. I once met a man named Mark who had been struggling with self-doubt for years. He started using I am statements every morning. I am confident. I am worthy. I am powerful. At first it felt awkward, but over time those statements became his truth. Action step. Create 3 positive I am statements that reflect the person you want to become. Say them out loud every morning. Positive self-talk isn't about ignoring reality, it's about reframing it. When you face a setback, your inner critic might say, this is the end. But positive self-talk says, this is a lesson. How can I grow from it? Think of every successful person you admire. I guarantee you they didn't get where they are without facing challenges. The difference is they reframe those challenges as opportunities. Action step. The next time something doesn't go your way, pause and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Write down one positive takeaway. The people you surround yourself with influence the way you talk to yourself. If you're constantly around negative, critical people, it's harder to maintain positive self-talk. But if you surround yourself with people who uplift you, you'll start adopting that positivity. Action step. Identify one person in your life who consistently brings positive energy. Spend more time with them and notice how it affects your mindset. Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools for shifting your inner dialogue. When you focus on what you're grateful for, your mind naturally becomes more positive. Here's a story. I worked with a man named James who was going through a tough time. Every night before bed, he wrote down 3 things he was grateful for. After a few weeks, he noticed a shift that started feeling more optimistic, and his self-talk became kinder. Action step. Start a gratitude journal. Every day, write down 3 things you're grateful for. Watch how it transforms your mindset. One of the most powerful tools for unlocking your potential is visualization. But here's the secret to it's not just about picturing the result. It's about combining visualization with positive self-talk. When you see yourself succeeding in your mind and reinforce that image with positive words, your brain starts to believe that success is possible. Let me give you an example. Olympic athletes use this technique all the time. Before they ever step onto the track, they visualize the entire race every step, every breath while repeating phrases like, I am fast, or I've got this. This primes their brain to perform at its peak because it can't distinguish between what's vividly imagined and what's real. Action step. Spend 5 minutes each day visualizing a goal you want to achieve. As you visualize, repeat empowering statements like, I can do this, or I am capable. This practice helps align your mind and body with success. Positive self-talk isn't about being perfect, it's about being kind to yourself, especially when things don't go as planned. That's where self-compassion comes in. Too often when we mess up, our inner critic takes over, how could you be so stupid? Or you'll never get it right. But what if instead of beating yourself up, you responded with kindness? There's a study by Dr. Kristen Neff on self-compassion that showed people who practice self-kindness are more resilient and less prone to anxiety and depression. Why? Because they give themselves permission to be human. They understand that failure is part of growth, not a reflection of their worth. Action step. The next time you catch yourself being overly critical, pause and ask, would I talk to a friend this way? Then choose a kinder response. For example, instead of saying, I failed again, try, it's okay. I learned something and I'll do better next time. You don't unlock the power of positive self-talk in a day. It's a habit you build over time. And like any habit, it requires consistency. Think of it like going to the gym. You don't lift weights once and expect to get stronger. You keep showing up day after day, and over time you build strength. The same goes for your mind. Every time you replace a negative thought with a positive one, you're strengthening your mental muscles. And eventually positive self-talk becomes your default. Here's what I want you to do. Create a morning ritual. Start your day with 3 positive self-talk practices, whether it's saying your I am statements, practicing gratitude, or visualizing your success. When you start your day with positivity, it sets the tone for everything that follows. Action step. Design a 5-minute morning routine focused on positive self-talk. Do it every day for 30 days and watch how your mindset shifts. Here's what I want you to remember. Your inner voice is the most powerful tool you have. It can either be your greatest enemy or your greatest ally. The choice is yours. And when you choose positive self-talk, you're not just changing your thoughts, you're changing your life. I've seen it happen over and over again. People who once felt stuck, who were drowning in self-doubt, completely transform their lives by changing the way they talk to themselves. And you can do it too. So here's my challenge to you. Start today. Catch that negative voice in your head, challenge it, and replace it with something positive. Keep showing up, keep practicing, and before you know it, that positive voice will become who you are. Because here's the truth. You already have everything you need to succeed. You are strong, you are capable, you are worthy. And when you start talking to yourself like someone you love, you unlock the power to become your best self. Now go out there and start talking yourself into greatness.